All right, folks. What's coming up for Niall and his lady? I forget her name, but I know what she looks like in my head. Anyhow, Niall and his lady, what Niall brought to the table as far as this relationship is concerned is decisions. He's a quick thinker. Sorry about that background noise, but it's gone now, folks. All right. He's a good decision maker, and it was like a rendezvous. TikTok. He wasn't in it to win it when they got together. He was having a good time. What she brought to the table was, some clarity and a life partnership, rendezvous, a private getaway for two is calling you. Tick-tock, said the clock. So I have a hunch like this was we got down and dirty on the first date type of situation, and it stuck because she's not about it. She may have wooed him in that way, but her intentions were life partner and a renewal in spirit and probably in this partnership. So maybe these two dated, got together on that tip and he pulled away for a minute and then they got back together. She's in it. She's also tidy and clean. He's good with decisions and she's a good tending to things, making sure that everything is prim, proper, fresh, clean. You see how these boys run around looking like they haven't washed their darn digs in days, like they slept in their freaking clothes. Yeah, she's not walking out with her dude looking like that. He can go out with his friends looking like that, but she's no. And in the house, she makes sure she's meticulous when it comes to having a place for everything, like harmony within her household. She's not a control freak, but she might have a little OCD or something when it comes to like cleaning. The odd numbered people, the odd numbers, even numbers, don't step on a crack. Those people, OCD, where my friend's daughter has OCD and the volume on the television, it has to be on an odd number. Her address has to be an odd number. Or she can't move in. Her anxiety from the OCD won't allow for that. So, she needs a very understanding companion, which she has, and she also lives at an odd numbered address, and the volume does not hit an even number, or, it will set her anxieties off. Anyhow, she's maybe a little bit like that. I'm not saying exactly. I'm just saying there isn't anything wrong with her. She's just meticulous. What draws the two of them together, what created the spark between the two of them is I don't know, a fresh perspective. They were just a good fit. And a spirit soul path. Your relationship is part of a personal spiritual evolution and ascension, like it was meant to be. And I sensing that the time is time to clean out the clutter and let go of the past and build on the future, right? It's time to stop playing games and figure out the pieces of this puzzle called life together, right? Because we're entering right into a home here, right? Even though this is the tension and the challenge is within the house. Maybe where to live. I think it's where to live, what to purchase, because it's like dreams come true. Have faith, your rainbow will come smiling through. Okay, it's security and stability and shelter. I sense they're having the challenge is where do we settle down? Which house do we purchase? Details. nothing like the house itself is unstable or anything like that. It's actually more of an indication that there is a move coming up and it's challenging and it creates a bit of tension for them at this time. The market sucks. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You want to hold on to it. So that's an issue for them right now. As far as like how fame impacts the bond between the two of them, well, they put on disguise and go out. They hide it very well, Here they are. And, there'll be some fibs and everything about that, but, like, you kind of can't interrupt their love. Some elements of this relationship are hidden, so they're private people. It makes them private people. It puts extra layers of protection to keep the fandom and the freaks and the predators away. Fairy tale love, complicated, unrealistic, and perfectly imperfect. Yeah, they hide their imperfections because people like to exploit them. And that's how fame has affected their bond. It makes things a little bit difficult and complicated because others have unrealistic expectations of other human beings because of their talent and the amount of money that they've earned, things of that nature. Superficial. Anyhow, the move, and I called this a while ago, that Niall's en route to getting married this year in the next 6 to 12 months. I think I called it for this year, within this year. So they're just going over everything with a fine-tooth comb, every detail with a magnifying glass, looking at everything clearly. Yes, you are exactly what I want. Wedding bells are ringing over the next 6 to 12 months for Niall Horan and his girl. The truth is, I love you and I want to marry you. The truth is, you're my everything. I can't find a flaw in you that I don't personally love. And yeah, matrimony, Holy Bible, and a prenup. I suspect that the prenup is coming. It's being looked over right now, and the contract, mortgage, contractual things going on here. See. But they put on a false front for y'all, okay? They are a fake, phony couple for the public. They hide who they truly are because they want to protect the bond that they have. Now, why did their paths cross? It was a natural evolution. It's just natural for them. Out with the old, in with the new. It was time for a fresh start. And it's like everything else was, they've been dealing with the dogs. It's time to clean out the trash. It's just time to clean out the trash. And it was time for their soul to naturally evolve into this state. And she is the one to help. He too, right? Like his soul for hers, in order to continue to grow and align and hit that higher frequency. They're meant to not let anything negative or old relationships, old energy stand in their way. This was something that took time, and it will evolve over time, and it has evolved over time, and it's really progressing into a state of maturity. The white picket fence over here, and contracts for where do we live. It's my dream home. You're my dream wife. That's what I have for Niall. I'm excited for him. Yay.